And recently in all my free time I've been studying like cinematography and stuff, and that is the one thing I want to do. So I feel like once I've done that, maybe.
Okay, yeah. Right. Well, if you did ever leave Japan, how do you think like that? I mean, how would that affect your channel, right?
It's abroad in the UK.
Yeah, I guess it's just
it would just be abroad.
Like, do you almost feel at times that like maybe you're like not to say like hostage to Japan, but like that you're kind of like well, my job is Japan. Like, can I leave? Right?
To some extent, not really. You think so, but not necessarily. No. Yeah, I mean, my channel is, let's face it, the reason the channel's so successful is because most of my viewers are interested in Japan.
Right.
And I'm fine with that. I do have a second channel called A Broad Perspective.
Right.
Clever.
Maybe you but I mean, you upload a lot of videos where you just chat shit to the comments that you get, right? And it's fantastic, right? And you clearly have the charisma.
The replying to hate comments video.
You have a lot of comments where a lot of videos where you just reply to comments, and those get just as many views sometimes as your.
They do.
So I feel like even if you did leave, you could easily transition. To something else.
I mean, I do think if I had to leave Japan, God forbid, there would be a future. I would be able to do something.
That's good.
And I would be able to pivot and create a channel that's focused on comedy or commentating or something. But really, I've always seen my YouTube channel as a YouTube channel and also a stepping stone to getting into the film industry and doing something in the world of film.
So is that like your ultimate goal after YouTube?
That is my ultimate goal, and 2020 was supposed to be the year that I did that.
Oh, okay. So is that why in that video
that's kind of been a bit delayed, given what's going on.
These things move slowly, right?
Yeah. So you have like no interest in like staying for the foreseeable future, like. I think I'll be here at least another 3 years. Make no mistake. Yeah. I don't have it's time to go now. End goal. Like I have to leave Japan. Like
there's no plan. 3 years.
More realistically, I'll probably be here permanently another few years. And then maybe I'll transition to the UK and I'll come back to Japan.
But could you see yourself like if you did stay in Japan, like eventually, like you've done so much content in and around Japan. Could you ever see yourself at a point where it's like I've literally run out of every idea that I can think of that's like interesting enough in Japan? Because like as
you'd think so,
as diverse and as like interesting as all sorts of rural places in Japan are, if you cover all the interesting stuff, eventually you'd think you're gonna run out, right? So like, could you ever see yourself like getting to that point, or would you probably bail before that happens?
It's a good question. People ask that a lot, like, you fed up of covering Japan? And I think there's always a new angle, a new story to be found. Like, recently I've been working on a series about business owners in Japan. So I've made a series about a guy that owns a sushi restaurant and what's it like. And he's a good friend of mine in Sendai. He owns the biggest sushi restaurant chain in Sendai. I've got another friend who owns a Wagyu restaurant. And I've been chatting with him, and we're going to make a video on that. So focusing on people is another option, right? I've never really done that, and it's something I've always wanted to do. So focusing on different people. So I always think there's another angle, there's another story to be told. I don't think, I've got 20, 30, 40 ideas at the back of my mind, or written down a document that I can go with.
Yeah,
so there's no absence of content.
Yeah, because I feel like as a YouTuber, especially if you're on the platform for like a very long time, you eventually have to think about evolving your content, right?
Right.
Because like anyone, like if you pay attention to the world of YouTube, anyone who's successful in here or has been for a very long time, their content has to like slowly change over time, or you have to try to explore new things. And I feel like one of the biggest challenges is trying to figure out what you can kind of get away with, right? Because what I fear most is getting pigeonholed into like one type of content. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, I love anime, right? But like, have you ever felt like you wanted to make content outside of anime, or like something that's not about Japan itself?
I mean, that's like what this podcast is for, right? I can finally talk about shit that's not like specifically about an anime or whatever, right? Because I do have so many other like interesting things that I do want to talk about. I love anime, don't get me wrong, but like I also like a lot of other things, and unfortunately I can't really talk about that kind of stuff without it being very unnatural.
What else do you love?
I mean, I like.
What do you love?
Meaning of life.
On the spot now, Jerry.
I mean, I'm like before anime, like I was in like 4 different bands.
Yeah, you make a lot of music.
I make a lot of music on the sideline. So like I've always been very passionate about music. I've always wanted to like talk about music, and I did that a little bit on my second channel, but obviously didn't really pop off all that much, right?
It's time to make a new channel, Joey's song.
Joey's song. Just
the
one
music
song.
man.
Just the one song.
The music man. That's a comment I got a lot. It's like, if you talk, like, I had a bunch of my audience which was like, if you ever like start talking about music, you should just call it the music man. And I was that close to making
yourself into another hole.
I was that close to making a channel called the music man.
And like
the one.
the eye's got to be the one.
It's the genius of your brand. Your brand, you just need to have the man and then something in between.
Yeah, exactly.
And a one.
As long as there's a one in there somewhere. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you have to bear in mind, I was literally doing like Sebastian. My whole channel was impersonating a
I'm
character from
honestly
Black Butler.
surprised you managed to escape that pigeonhole.
I don't know how I did it. I took so many tries. I remember so many videos that I did weren't that failed. But I was like,
Yeah.
no. I know this is good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it work. And then like 5 years later, I'm making host club videos. They're pulling weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's you have to
Yeah.
be persistent, and it's hard because you're gonna get discouraged. When
No,
you
it
do
is.
something that isn't normal. What people are used to.
Yeah.
Because people don't like what they aren't comfortable with. And the thing
Yeah.
is, I'm sure you guys have all had this, or you asked your viewers for suggestions.
That never
And
works.
they give you they're like, do the same thing again, but slightly different, please.
Oh yeah.
Look,
And it's just like, all right, well, you clearly don't know what you want.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They don't know what they want a lot of the times.
Yeah, and you just have to be like, I like you said, right? You found a story. You found the people to talk
Yeah.
about. You're like, maybe people wouldn't click on, when you started, why would someone click on Natsuki the documentary, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've built it up to the point where, okay, people trust you and they understand that you go into that kind of thing.
I think that's
and
the
it
end
works.
game with any successful YouTube channel. It's to build it around your personality.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's
that's
something
true.
I learned very
That's true.
quickly on. And
Yeah.
I spent years getting out of.
Yeah.
And I think you've done an amazing job of doing that. I mean, I watched Natsuki the documentary, and I don't know, like, if you'd have pitched that to me before I watched your channel, I'd have been like, yeah, no, I'm okay. I don't.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know Sid Vicious's grave was in New York.
that whole arc was amazing. It's so funny. I was like, okay, a very good tangent. But yeah, I mean, it's that kind of evolution that you really like strive for, right? That you hope you can make an hour documentary on your mate who's just fucking around in Europe.
Falling over the wind tunnel. Yeah.
Right, that's like, and I think that's like a testament to how well you built you and your brand, right?
And that's the end game. You want to build it around yourself. You want to build it around your friends.
Yeah.
and find the right people to put in front of the camera, like Natsuki.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell you're careful with it. Like I feel like you're not just like, I mean, I'm sure if there's people around you and you have them film, you put them on, but it seems very like selective the way who you show and how you show them on screen. I don't know if you think about that much, but he's funny.
I mean, I've met Natsuki before, and like,
Are you very like selective about what you show?
well, you have to with Natsuki. Natsuki just comes out with so much ridiculous stuff. You have to be very
Okay.
careful. Yeah.
what was his nickname for me again? It was Jelly, right?